What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you a viewer-submitted replay in World of Tanks, if you could not have guessed. So, this battle, it was sent to me by Kilonius, and it's T49. That's right, yes, that is right. I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar with the T49. I have not played it all that often. It's my impressions of it in general are it's kind of a soft tank. I've seen it, but I've typically been playing higher tier tanks when I've seen it. So it's never really registers as much of a threat. T28, not really watching where he's going, but to be honest, the T49 kind of came up behind him fast. Anyway, this was sent to me by Kilonius, like I said, that's his in-game name. His nickname in which he sent it to me was like Kill as Racing Factory or something along those effects. I have watched this game, and I do have to say that he really does a rather good job with this tier 5 TD. I'm sorry for the little interruption there, there's a little hiccup, but I figured I'd just pick up where I left off. Anyway, yeah, a tier 5 TD against the tier 7 tanks he's going up against, he does very well for himself, and he plays this TD really differently than I see a lot of TDs played, but I did not play this TD line. He plays it really a lot as a fast scout tank. I wouldn't say scout, but you know, very maneuverable, very rapid movements, very uses it to flank and circle. Seems to play a lot like a light tank or a medium, but it has the whole benefit of having a camo bonus, so he can actually hide in bushes and the such. You know, he can actually get away with trying to be sneaky. Anyway, as you see, Tiger pushing up the middle, T49, his equivalent on the enemy team, and a T50 up on that hill. He will be taking a few shots at that. He has a very rapid rate of fire, so he'll get a few free shots. Hits that T50 twice, but doesn't quite do damage that second time. Fires at the T49, goes wide. Nothing else really happening on the map at the moment. T50 is trying to hold up and kind of just stay alive. Tiger still pushing up along those railroad tracks, kind of causing a point of concern. Light tanks, T50 is still there. Panther, tier 7 medium. Not something to be taken lightly considering the highest tier is tier 7, but he will take a few free shots at it. Now they have two mediums pushing up along the railroad tracks heading into his base. They will get held up by that one medium tank. I don't know why they both stopped. Probably has something to do with that heavy tank back there. They don't really want to get shot up too badly. Now that Panther is still alive up on that hill, but right now he's actually going to be a good teammate. Who would have ever guessed, you know, people having teamwork and such. But he will be a good teammate and go back to base here very shortly. Save his artillery, you know, do the right thing and be a team player. Right here, he's going to head back to base and ensure those two medium tanks do not go after his artillery. Dog Panther doing a very good job of kind of watching that hill. There he goes. No, that wasn't him, was it? I don't believe it was him. I do believe that was Yogg Panther on the other side of the map. The west flank doing somewhat well for itself, but also dwindling. There's only two tanks left. His team is currently losing. Panzer IV looking to shoot his artillery. He's going to say, no, thank you. You better not do that. I'm going to ensure you don't do that. You should be paying attention to me, not my arty. The same thing with this Yogg Panzer IV. He's not prioritizing properly. He's not killing the thing that's going to kill him. And, you know, that's his own fault. And Kilonius, I love that name, Kilonius, is going to take advantage of that. Now Kilonius still has full health, is going to go after this Tiger now, take a few free shots at the Tiger, apparently hits for about 7% each shot, but he has a rapid rate of fire. He can afford to just sit back and plink away, because even though it's a low damage gun, he still has 25 shells left, and he can just keep firing away, hits for about 7 or 8% each time. That's nothing to be really scoffed at. I mean, yeah, each shot isn't going to do much, but when you're firing one every 2 or 3 seconds, it's a fast gun and it has decent damage per second. As you see, the west side push got completely crushed. Basically, they were pushing up against a T49, and that Panther is still on the hill, but it will get taken out very shortly here, because the Yogg Panther and his Tiger are both currently pushing to the hill. Yogg Panther getting killed, but the other Panther killing the the other Yogg Panther killing the Panther. It's kind of confusing when you were talking about a lot of German tanks. The names are very similar. Anyway, T28, not a big threat at all. Kilonius is starting to run a little on ammunition. You know, he's fired a lot of shells. but he still isn't quite out yet. I like his setup that he's running. He's only running 3 HE shells. That, in my opinion, is a very wise decision. HE in this game, unless you have a very high damage HE gun, is pretty much going to be useless. Now, he did a lot of damage to that Tiger, probably more than a tier 5 should have done, so good on him. Tiger player maybe should think more about what you're doing. Anyway, but like I was saying, very good. He only has a few HE shells for important instances where he has to hurt the enemy, even if it's only going to be like 1% or 0.5%, you know, half of a percent. Sometimes you just need to hurt the enemy if they're on your cap, and that's, or just hit them and track them, hit them and get their attention. You know, something other than a bounce is necessary, and that's when you use HE. But typically HE, unless you are using a high damage gun like an artillery cannon or a top tier TD, will pretty much be more or less useless. And so anyway, I digress. HE, not really the subject of this. Currently they still have their tier 7 and artillery and a Hetzer. Not too concerned about the Hetzer. I'm pretty sure he isn't either. That T49 though, that's 77%. Found him right there, and he's gonna go toe to toe with it. You know, he kind of said, well, I found you, now I gotta fight you, I guess. So he will use his speed to his advantage. He might have wanted to keep driving forward there. Artillery splashing him, the T29 firing and missing. Probably zoomed in way too much, to be honest. If I was this T29, I wouldn't be zoomed in at all right now. In this close quarters, I'd be doing what Kilonius is doing, just firing from what I can see from third-person view. If you zoom in, chances are pretty good you probably miss if any sudden movements are made, and that's what Kilonius is actually counting on at this point, is just the fact that the T29 is going to be zoomed in and unable to do anything. Now, right here, I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. I think he's more or less counted himself as dead, so he's trying to keep the T29 in place and let his arty pound it. Personally, I think, you know what, it's a smart decision, but most people wouldn't make it, and to be honest, I don't think I would have made it myself. The Hetzer getting killed, not really a threat, and he manages to stay alive. The only explanation I can think of is that T29, his gun was busted up by artillery. Now, Kilonius, I don't know if you're running premium or not, but you certainly did a good enough job for yourself. You know, you did significant damage to tanks much higher tier than your own, and more so than most people will be able to do. You did a very good job for yourself. Experience 1000 for a tier 5. That's great. If you're not running premium, that's excellent. If you are, that's pretty good still. Credits, not too much. So the stats of this game kind of make me think you aren't running premium, but I digress. That's not really the important thing. The important thing is how you performed, and certainly without you, your team would have lost. Unless they had someone equivalent in skill to you, but that kind of goes without saying. So you did kill a Panzer IV, a Tiger. Oh wow, you did kill that Tiger. I kind of missed that. I kind of got distracted by looking at the minimap. But yes, you did kill that Tiger. Very well done. And a T29. You did significant damage to tiers higher than your own. So Kilonius demonstrating some excellent skill. Just because you are outclassed does not mean you are outskilled. Damage to T50, another Panzer IV, and the Panther. Detected one of the Panzer IVs. Not really sure when he did that, to be honest, but he fired 36 shots and only had 6 AP shells remaining when the round ended. So, Battle Hero, the only person to get Battle Hero is a Panzer IV, and he gets Sniper. Not one of the more impressive medals in my opinion, but it's still an award and it's still an achievement. Anyway, if you like if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you have a replay that you would like me to commentate on, like I said in previous videos, no promises, but if it's interesting enough, if you do well enough, I will certainly commentate on it, and send that to spanglereplays@gmail.com. And this is Spang, and I'm signing off.